Look at my face. Because so many people gave. And I get emails all the time about people asking if she's okay.
Ache this fainted heart. Ache these tainted hands. Wash me in your love. Long like grace again. Even when my strength is lost, I'll praise you. Even when I have no song, I'll praise you. Even when it's hard to find the words louder than I'll sing your praise. I will only sing your praise. Take this mountain weight. Take these ocean tears. Hold me through the trial. All right.
Hey, what's up, guys? Ryan here. What were you mad at me about, Tiff?
Because you cut the video right in half. You didn't let it.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, audio was off. So what are you mad at me about? You're over here yelling at me, making all these
No, I
noises,
wasn't upset.
sounds. I didn't cut the video off. The video was 1 minute and 48 seconds, and that's how long it played.
Okay, I just watched it. It didn't end, but okay.
Okay. What's up, guys? Unfortunately, so sad to hear, but Bruna passed away Wednesday night. Is that right?
No.
Thursday night?
Yeah.
It was Wednesday, I think. It was Wednesday. Yeah.
Late in the evening. Yeah, Wednesday, late in the evening. Yeah.
So if you guys remember, she's a friend of, or she's the daughter of our friend. Had a brain tumor and just really sad, crazy situation.
Yeah. Exactly. So Ryan and I went to the funeral on what, Saturday was it?
Saturday, yeah.
Saturday, yep. And so we just thought we'd let you guys know because I know that a lot of you have been praying for Bruna. And we just asked for continued prayers for her family and her daughter, her little 3-year-old daughter, Faith. And
who is terrified of me, by the way. So the family was all struggling and stuff. And I don't know who brought it up, but Tiff was like, Ryan, drive over there. You and Paisley, you're going to grab Faith, which is this 3-year-old little girl. You're going to bring her home, and we're going to babysit her for the day so that, the family doesn't have to worry about taking care of this kid.
Well, you're a little...
Let me tell you, I have not seen... It was like I was abducting a child in this neighborhood. the amount of screaming that this kid was insane.
Yeah, because you're a little, you can be a little intimidating.
I bought her ice cream. Like, okay.
She was totally fine after. Like, it's just normal kids being, taken away from. Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Very sad.
What is up, guys? Gerard is here. Dan, I saw Joe, Arthur, Hoax, 813. Okay. Cool name. Interesting name. I don't know. Oh, my gosh. I had a guy in the class the other day. His name was Tap. And I was like, Tap? Like T-A-P? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, well, your parents didn't like you, man. Like,
why? The name Tap?
Tap? Tap Diddy Doodah? You know how much fun I can make of somebody with the name Tap?
Coming from the guy whose middle name is Grover?
G-Man, G-Money, G-Wagon.
No.
So many cool things I can do with that
Grover.
middle name. Yeah.
So I hope everybody's doing great tonight. Super funny story about my makeup. You might see me blinking a little bit because I've got some glitter in my eyes.
It actually is funny to look at you on the camera here.
So this is what happened.
Because you kind of look like a Tijuana prostitute.
This is what happened. I was frantically working on getting the video ready for the live, just to let you guys know that Bruna had passed. And I was so busy getting, like, crunch time. I literally got it to you, like, 10 seconds before you went live, right? So I said, Paisley, I need you to do my makeup today. I said, I just need you to come in. I just need you to do my makeup. So she's in my office while I'm working on this video. And she's like, I don't know if you're going to like it, Mom. And she does her makeup perfect, right? Like, really cute, natural kind of looking or whatever. So I'm like, Paisley, I'm going to love it. I don't care. I trust you. I know that you're going to do a great job.
Do you still trust her is a question.
So I had to quickly go pee, right? Before we start. So I run to the bathroom, literally seconds on the clock. I run to the bathroom. I don't even close the door. I look in the mirror and I go, what the beep? There's freaking glitter everywhere. Like blue eyeshadow, glitter up. And I'm like, holy crap. I have never in my life done my makeup like this, like crazy. No, I don't even think for Halloween. And I'm like, she's like, oh, I thought you'd like it.
You guys notice how like one of her eyes is blue and the other one's not?
No, that's because I quickly grabbed the toilet paper and I was like, and then it like all the sparkles were falling everywhere and I'm like, oh my gosh. And she's like, I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm like, it's okay. I don't care. But this is it. And I feel like I got sparkles in my eyes and everything. Yeah. I'm a little, but I mean, you'll have a fun night tonight.
I guess. All right, James says the best way to deal with an active shooter is equal firepower by an armed citizen. Let me tell you guys, I have got some really fascinating stuff about active shooters. I did a deep dive, some research today, and it's really amazing. We're going to debunk a lot of this garbage that's going on. You guys, if you've been in the firearms community for a while, you know that anytime there's a shooting, anytime like these politicians and anti-gun people have an opportunity to like try to destroy the Second Amendment, they're going to take it. And they don't even care if what they're saying is true, factual, whatever. It's been absolutely crazy.
So Mark asked, how do I join this channel? I think you're on, Mark. If you're seeing us, you just hit the subscribe button, and then you'll be able to see us. And if you want to get like the email alert and stuff like that, you can go to tampacarryalerts.com and just enter your email, and then we'll let you know whenever we go live.
Okay, so O-Town Racer says, Paisley, do make up for Ryan next week, then we can compare.
I keep looking at myself, and I'm like seeing all the sparkle, and I'm a little like, sorry, I don't mean to be so sparkly.
Yeah, funny.
So thank you very
Paisley
much,
just typed,
James.
sorry, Mom.
Oh, no, Paisley, don't be sorry. I'm totally fine. It's okay.
Yeah, she's just teasing.
I'm just happy that you were able to help, and I only had to pay you $5. So.
Okay, so there was an active shooter. I didn't even realize this. Active shooter in Polk County recently, like 2 days ago.
See, this is why we kind of need to watch the news. I rely on...
Screw the news.
I know.
You know, like Denzel Washington says, if you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. If you watch the news, you're misinformed. There's an amazing book out there called Trust Me, I'm Lying. Mm-hmm. And it's a book written by a media executive about how they use the media as a propaganda tool. It doesn't matter what the story is about. They're able to sway it and turn it to match whatever your bias is, their audience, to get you to believe whatever they want you to believe. It's pretty crazy.
Paisley just texted, "You look bad, Mom."
And Carlos says, you look like a Zephyr Hills hooker.
Well, here, let me lower this a little.
That's
here.
highly specific, Carlos. Highly specific.
Yeah, I have a feeling Carlos knows this firsthand.
So today, actually, when I went to the gun range, I parked and I noticed this like a bag like full of crap just sitting on the side of the building, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I see this woman like arguing with somebody, yelling and like all this stuff, and I was like, "Oh man, like." One of the owners of the gun store must be in the back, and then I realized this is like a crazy homeless lady in the little alley, and she's just like arguing. She was mad at the world,
was
arguing
she arguing
with herself.
With anybody? Oh, herself.
There was nobody else there. It was pretty funny.
That's usually when you just kind of.
So anyway, active shooter in Polk County happened 2 days ago. So this guy was 56 years old.
Really?
He was shot and killed by the Polk County Sheriff's deputies. So it turns out that this dude's wife dialed 911 because the man was like shooting the gun inside of their trailer. He was shooting the gun like outside of their trailer, and I guess they don't live on like a lot of land. This is like a trailer park, right? So not safe. This is very unsafe behavior. He was threatening to shoot and kill the wife, and then I guess while one of the neighbors was on the phone with 911, they could hear these gunshots going off. So the sheriff's deputies, they pull up. This guy's standing there. I'm pretty sure.
So they went in the building?
He was outside at this point, it sounds like.
They didn't wait an hour outside of the building?
Oh, yeah. The guy was holding an AR-15. They started screaming at him, telling him to put it down. The dude wouldn't put it down, so they shot and killed him.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
That's what needs to happen. If you're not going to obey, I don't think that the police should have to wait for you to freaking turn the gun and shoot them or turn the gun on somebody else in the house. If you're already a threat, if you're not going to listen and you're not going to drop your weapon, then, I mean, the only other option is they wait till you
and then he kills somebody.
Shoot someone else, or you go to shoot them. So
yeah.
It's
Yeah, so and of course Grady Judd, he always has funny, hilarious stuff to say, right? So
yeah, always.
His response is he says, if you brandish a firearm in the direction of deputies, you're going to get shot. Yeah. You're going to get shot a lot.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree. You know, of course there's people out there saying, how dare you? You know, it's funny. The media is so hilarious.
Did they tell him to drop his weapon? Did they say the command?
Yeah, probably. I assume so, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, it's different if they just walk up and start shooting, right?
No, if he's got a gun and he's shooting at people, freaking kill him. We don't need to have a conversation here. This isn't The View. Shoot that guy in the head and let's move on.
It's getting so crazy. Like, people are like, oh, you need to give him a warning. He's murdering people. Why do you need a warning? Like,
yeah, he's had warnings. His entire life has been a warning. Don't do dumb shit. You won't get killed. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think down in the comments? So Ryan, I'm taking your advice. I just bought my Gucci Gen 5 Glock 19. Other than the CCM Micro and the CMC trigger kit, what else should I do for my Gucci Glock? You know, Shane, that's the benefit of a Gucci Glock is that it really is based on what you want. I wouldn't encourage you to upgrade the trigger unless it's not a gun you're ever going to use in home defense, concealed carry, self-defense, because we don't want any extra liability put on you. But slide machining and optic, you definitely got to do an optic, right? I mean, optics are just so amazing.
Your gun is really sweet. I really like your gun. Every time I touch it, I'm like, oh, this feels good.
Good, because you were kind of mad when I spent $3,000 putting it together.
I was mad. I was annoyed, but I kind of just gave up on you.
Yeah, did you? Okay, good. Glad I wore you down.
Still just trusting God, you know.
Aaron says, 100% damn right. I heard the sheriff's speech the other day, and he literally told everybody on TV that if you have a gun and trying to hurt people, then we will shoot you.
Are you always going to say Aaron?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Forever?
Forever. Every time I see someone. Isn't it a funny name? Like, don't you kind of feel like the person who was inventing that name probably stuttered? And they were like trying to just spell A-R-O-N, but they were like, Ron. And they were like, oh, damn it. Now it's already written. I can't change it, right?
Is that Dave Chappelle?
No, that's Key and Peele. Yeah, you don't know that episode? Have you ever seen that?
Fine.
You don't watch that kind of stuff.
I do not watch that kind of stupidity.
So what's funny about it...
That's why I have more brain cells than you.
The reason you would like it is, we met doing inner city ministry here in Tampa.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about like the black culture, but they love to have like extremely unique names that you've never heard of and just totally crazy names, right?
Yeah.
So that was it, right? Like we'd always be in the inner city and there would be like some name that I've never even heard of before or whatever.
No, but I think there was a guy yesterday that the name was like this long. I see a lot of names, and there is other cultures that have.
Okay, that's not my point though. So with this Key and Peele sketch is that Key is like an inner city teacher, but now he's going to like Fishhawk High School, and he's like reading attendance
with these different names.
He's used to all these crazy names and crazy pronunciations, and he's like Jay Quellen, and she's like, do you mean Jacqueline? And he's like, don't give me that shit. You ain't gonna give that to me. I know your name's Jay Quellen. It's hilarious. It's awesome. If you guys have watched that video, put it inside of the chat because it is hilarious.
You're probably the only one.
I am not the only one.
I'm thinking
it is amazing. If you ever die, I'm gonna immediately marry somebody named Shaniqua.
I know you will.
We're gonna be the Ryan and Shaniqua live show.
Ryan and Shaniqua live.
All right, so first question on here today.
I
got lots of questions. So I'm sitting at a red light with my window rolled down and someone reaches into my vehicle. Can I pull out my firearm? So this is actually a question that I got inside of the concealed carry class, I think on Saturday. Mm-hmm. So this guy was telling me that his brother, who has a concealed carry permit, was driving somewhere in Tampa. It was late at night, 2 a.m, had his windows rolled down, and he pulled up to a red light. He said there was a guy riding a bicycle, but as he got close to his vehicle, the guy got off the bike. He kind of snuck up around this dude's car, and he went to reach in. But now the brother, as he saw the guy lay the bike down, he decided to pull his gun out of the holster and kind of orient it just like this. So when the guy approached the window, the man outside the car saw the gun, and just kind of kindly stepped away.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
So he was saying all the, and I want to know in your guys' opinion inside of the chat, like, is that legal? If somebody is walking up to your car, because that's all that's happening right now, are you allowed to pull out your gun?
No, what did they...
And now point it at them.
Did they threaten your life in any way? You have your window rolled down, right?
Sure, windows rolled down.
The person's just walking.
He's just walking, but he's walking up to your car late at night. Is that a line?
One, keep your window rolled up.
Okay.
Like, that's kind of the overall rule, right? And if you're going to roll it down, halfway or whatever, it's fine when you're driving. But every time you pull up to a stoplight, you'll usually put it up, or at least you're watching.
It's only because I have so many screaming fans like, oh, Ryan.
Yes, this happens
Marry
a lot.
me, man.
Yes.
It's hard. It's hard to do me.
It happens a lot, right? So, But if somebody, it doesn't matter. It's like me saying I'm standing on the sidewalk and somebody's walking up to me. Okay? They haven't threatened anything yet.
Yeah. Okay, so Dan says no. RV Dog says no. Canic Bill says yes. You are only allowed to threaten the use of deadly force if your life is in danger, right? And you're only allowed to threaten the use of deadly force if the threat is imminent. Somebody's just walking up to your car. They haven't reached their arms in. They haven't smashed they haven't done anything. Yeah, so I think this meets the definition of improper exhibition of a dangerous weapon or firearm, which means the rude, careless, angry, or threatening manner, displaying a firearm in the rude, careless, angry, or threatening manner, not in necessary self-defense.
Yeah.
So remember, this does not meet any of the requirements of using or threatening the use of a firearm in the state of Florida. Mm-hmm. So therefore, displaying the gun is also not justified.
Right.
And honestly, our job is to identify threats and then avoid it.
Avoid it.
So if you're at a red light and you see that sketchy character kind of come up, it's 2 a.m, chances are there's not much traffic. Mm-hmm. Just drive through the red light, turn right, get away from this person so they can't actually get close to you, right?
Yeah.
That's a much better option.
Okay, so Sean says legal. No. Would I do it? Yes. But I think this is a perfect example of having pepper spray, because I tell everybody you should have pepper spray in your little door little thingy there, because if some guy's acting up in road rage or whatever and you don't, it's not a shootable offense, freaking pepper spray. I'm like, you should have a big old can of that gel and just be like, because that I was gonna say that mofo That mofo ain't gonna be driving anywhere, and because he was hot-headed, now you got a face full of pepper spray, and you're gonna be whining.
You know what?
street.
My fear of that would be is that, again, you don't really have a legal right to even use pepper spray.
Not if they're just walking up, but if someone has, those road rage ones where they're like pulling the
Yeah,
door, trying to get the guy out or whatever. I just think it would be really good to pepper spray one of those people.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the day that happens because I have pepper spray sitting in my little car.
Are you excited about it? That's kind of sick and demented.
I kind of want to see what's
And probably not something you should be admitting on the internet.
I don't know.
With,
I didn't say I want to shoot someone. I just want to pepper spray someone. Can I pepper spray you?
we probably need to do that again. It's time to refilm that video again. So maybe we'll pepper spray Lincoln. Maybe is that legal?
You
Are we
should
allowed to
piss
pepper
me
spray
off
our
again
kids?
like you did last week, and I'll gladly pepper spray
Oh,
you.
shut up. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. All right, so let's talk about this next story. So this is a major general, a retired major general, posted on Twitter because that's where everybody vents all their feelings and stuff.
Oh.
As a former commanding general of the infantry center at Fort Bragg and chief of infantry, I know a bit about weapons. Yeah, probably not. I know a bit about weapons. Let me be unequivocally, for all intents and purposes, the AR-15 and rifles like it are weapons of war. Those that oppose an assault weapons ban continue to play games with AR-15 semantics, pretending there's some meaningful difference between it and the M4 carbine that the military carries. There really aren't any. What do you think about that?
I think it's extremely stupid because none of us have ever tried to say that there's a difference between an AR-15 and an M4.
No. People do try to say that. Like they try to say that the assault weapon is obviously a fully automatic gun and a modern sporting rifle is a traditional semi-automatic AR. That's a common argument amongst the gun community.
But that's why they say, okay, I get what you're saying. I get the point you're making. So, yeah, I just think that it's silliness. And I think, whatever. I don't really want to get into the whole why, the weapon versus the mind thing because I just think that it's
That's
silliness.
what this, we're in a live stream right now. That's the point, right, of the live stream?
Because I feel like I'm beating my head against the wall.
And not in a good way.
Saying the same thing, right? I feel like everybody just right away resorts to banning guns. And it's like all over the media, all over my Facebook feed, all over. And sometimes it just gets tiresome. Like, it's like I get tired and I get annoyed by it all. Because it's like, we're going to put 1,000% tax on AR-15s. 1,000% tax?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a second.
Who comes up with this stuff?
Stupid people.
And then Nikki Fried, we're going to raise the price of ammo and we're going to tax ammo. And it's like, what is that gonna
Why don't
do?
you just make murder illegal?
That's what I wrote. I wrote that in a few posts, because every now and then I'm like, and then I'm like, screw it. But I said, I have a good idea. Why don't we just make murder illegal? Because then that'll solve all of our problems. Oh, right. Because it is illegal and criminals don't follow the laws. So why do you think writing another law in some book that the criminals, honestly, don't even know about? That's the funny thing. Only the law-abiding citizens actually know what these laws are and that they exist. The criminals have never, you think they're buying your book?
I better read the law before I go commit mass murder.
So it's literally stopping nothing. And if they want, they break into a house and get an AR-15 if they wanted to. I mean, it's just...
So I guess Jim was telling me at the range today, I guess there was an escaped convict in Texas in this last couple days. Mm-hmm. He escaped out of a prisoner transport. He was able to go to a grandfather's house that had all the grandchildren from across the country.
Oh.
Were visiting the grandfather, and this bad guy murdered all of them. So murdered all of them. And it's so interesting.
That's so sad.
Or are we blaming the Texas correctional, system for allowing this guy to escape? It's really funny, but Pete Buttigieg, you know who he is? Mm-mm. He's like the transportation secretary. He's the guy who was running for president. He was like the gay dude who was like a mayor of some town in Indiana. You remember him?
Mm-mm. I don't know.
I don't pay attention. Okay. So he was basically saying in an article today that anybody that tries to blame mental health and not the gun,
wow,
there's something wrong with you.
Are you serious?
What? What are you talking about, man?
Okay. So the other thing was, oh crap! I was waiting for you to stop talking, and I had this powerful thing to say, and I lost it.
Couldn't have been that powerful.
No, but it was good. It was really good.
Yeah, so Pixel
They're
Face
missing out.
says, all these people took an oath to protect our Constitution. You know, it is really fascinating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, to support, but they're very smart, right? You know, this is what I've been saying this for years, right? We are at a war of words because words are what win battles like this. It's not protesting. It's not that kind of stuff, right? Like, if you read the articles of what these anti-gun people are saying, it's really amazing. Like, honestly, it's marketing at its finest. It's marketing at its finest because now they're not calling it gun control. What they're calling it is gun safety reforms.
Well, that's what they did in Austria, right? When they were collecting the weapons, they said it was a safety reform. That's why we got to do the registration. That's why we have to. And then just a little bit later, now we have to get the firearms, right? This is what I was going to say. The stupidest thing ever. Joe Biden, right? And we have to make it where manufacturers are responsible for what their firearms do. Are you kidding me? Like, when have we ever? So Ryan and I were talking the other day, and I was like, it's so funny because more people are killed every single year with a hammer than, how many is it? Thousands, right?
With a hammer?
With
thousands,
a hammer?
yeah.
Thousands. 200 people killed with an AR-15. Thousands killed with a hammer. But yet we see nothing about hammers on the news. And there's no bans against hammers. And nobody is filing lawsuits against DeWalt and, Husky Tools for this dangerous, dangerous weapon, the hammer. What is going on? Like, that part really drives me crazy because look at how many people are killed by drunk drivers every single year. We are not holding the car manufacturers liable, nor should we. It's absurd. Like, that part really, really irks me and pisses me off because all they're trying to do is have these companies be sued to hell and they can't operate and then they shut down. That's the back door. That's the sneaky thing, right? Oh, no, we're doing it because they should be held liable. Why should they be held liable? That just doesn't make sense. Look at all the knife attacks in England. Are they making the manufacturers of knives be liable? It's absolute silliness.
Yeah, stupidity.
And it drives me crazy. But you know what I did when I commented on these things? People are like, yes, we should ban assault rifles. I said, we should make, murder illegal. But then I also said, do yourself a favor and Google. Write this down, everybody. When we get off the live show, Google mass murders across the world without a gun.
Okay, so before we even get to that, I did some research today on the FBI's active shooter database. And I just found the data is really interesting. It's really funny to look at this data and compare it to the narrative that the gun control community, the media, and celebrities are portraying. Because if we look at what the media is saying, all these celebrities now think I give a shit what your political views are.
I'm so
they're all
annoyed with this new thing of the celebrities feeling like they should, give our input on every freaking platform
So Matthew McConaughey comes out with a very nice, message. It was very, very well written. But, just going through and kind of his big thing is these are dangerous weapons. They're weapons of war. We need to ban AR-15s and stuff. So here's some statistics of 2021 of mass murder active shooters that have occurred. Some people say audio's breaking up. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
Is it better now or no?
Seems like it. Can you hear me now?
Thank you, Kathy.
Can you hear me now?
It was Kathy Douglas's birthday.
Oh, Kathy, happy birthday. Should
Yeah.
we bake her a cake now? Is that the way? We should. You screwed up,
I
Tiff.
missed her birthday, and she already had lemon bundt cake, and it was very moist, she said. So
Oh, nice.
We messed up. I didn't know it was her birthday.
Yeah, okay.
I guess I should have asked. That's totally my fault. I'm so rude.
Okay, so in 2021, there were 61 mass shootings in 2021. Okay?
Okay. And this is the U.S. or the world?
No, just America. Because other countries do not track mass shootings. This is all something that's really amazing. Like politicians say, we're the only developed nation that has mass shootings. Okay. Other nations don't track mass shootings.
Right.
They track murders.
Right.
We're the only ones that are actually tracking mass shootings. So, of course, we're one of the only ones that actually pop up. Of all the mass shootings, Tiffany, you listening? How many people do you think died in a mass shooting in 2021? Put in the chat. I want to know how many people you think died in 2021 from a mass shooting.
Oh, you said there were 61
61 total mass shootings. How many people died from a mass shooting?
in 2021? I'm going to say...
Okay, WhatsApp says 43. I want some numbers. Put some numbers in there. I don't care if it's right, wrong, just put them in there.
I'm going to say like...
Eddie says 120.
I'm going to say 80.
Okay, Bruce says 435. Arthur says 50. Tiff says 80.
435.
The number is 103. 103 people, according to the FBI,
Looks like
died.
James is the closest there. Oh, thank you so much, Troy.
Thanks, Troy.
We appreciate you.
But you want to know how the FBI lists it?
What?
The FBI says there were 243 casualties. So as I'm looking at this, I'm like, wait, what does that mean? If there's 243 casualties, then that should mean that there was 243 deaths. What are you talking about?
Right.
They define a casualty as somebody who died or was injured during a mass shooting.
Oh, casualty. So doesn't casualty mean...
Death. That's what
Does
casualty
it?
means.
Does
Death.
it mean death?
It
does
sure
it?
means death in my mind, and probably every other American out there. So I find that to be incredibly manipulative to say that that's casualties. But anyway, what state in the nation would you guys guess leads the nation?
A person killed or injured in a war or accident.
Whatever. It's full of shit.
Boom.
Okay, whatever. I disagree with that definition. What state would you guys guess has more mass shootings in it than any other state in the nation?
So hot.
Put in the comments, which state has more mass shootings than any other state?
Michigan.
Michigan. Why? Detroit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or California.
That's not it.
It's
Okay,
not Michigan
Chicago,
or
Illinois.
Wait a minute. Chicago is... Oh.
Illinois.
Yeah.
Lots of people say California. Lots of people say Chicago.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it's California.
I was going to say California, yeah.
6 mass shootings occurred in California. What's fascinating about that is they have some of the strictest gun laws in the nation.
Have we heard any of this kind of talk on the news?
I've talked about all this lots of times, but nobody cares
No,
about
not
me.
you. I'm talking about, like, has the news ever, like, do politicians say this stuff?
No, because it doesn't have to be true.
It just
has to make sense. So all they do is spit a narrative. They keep sharing the narrative. They keep talking about it, right? They keep convincing people that this thing is true, even though they don't want to go look at facts. So like today, as I'm looking through all these articles, I'm like, man, there's a lot of stuff in here about how dangerous an AR is.
Right.
And I thought to myself, I wonder how often ARs are actually used in mass shootings. Like, is it a lot? Because then maybe we do have a problem. If it really is a lot, maybe we do have an issue we need to address.
Right.
So let's go look at the facts. Let's not try to guess. Let's not use our emotion. Let's look at the
not
truth.
Make an emotional decision after something emotional has happened. Right.
Okay, so what, then they described, like, what locations most mass shootings occur. What would you guess most mass shootings occur in a specific location? Tell me in the chat. Are mass shootings happening at churches? Are they happening at government facilities? Is it at schools?
Like the nightclub scene, I'm guessing.
A nightclub? Okay.
Like, I don't know.
Tell me in the chat, guys. I need to see some. I'm not going to tell you.
I want to see what
Low
people are
income,
saying.
urban city centers, clubs, nightclubs, work, okay, gun-free zones.
Oh, gun-free zones. I think Whiskey Oso wins it.
Okay, banks, streets.
What is it?
They occur in retail stores.
Oh, like a robbery?
No, a retail store, like a Publix, like a Walmart.
Really?
So 32 of the 61 mass shootings occurred inside a place of commerce. So some type of
Like
local
a mall.
business.
Oh, there was a couple, like a mall.
Yeah, a mall, a Walmart, something of that
Is that
nature.
because they're looking for, like, lots of people?
Probably
Like
large
a
gatherings of people.
yeah.
And you got to also think soft target, right? There is zero security, zero thing to stop them, right?
Right.
What would you guess the number one age of a mass shooter is? Put in the comments.
I bet
What
you
is
it's
the
gonna be
age of a mass
middle-age-
shooter?
Middle age.
What does that mean?
Like 45 to 59.
Okay, because they're already going senile. They know life's over. You might as well quit, give up.
No, because they already realized that they have just made a muck out of their life and they think there's
Okay.
nothing to live for.
So Valerie says 25. James says 23. 19, 35, 17.
25. Jason says
25, 20s.
22.
Okay, so the number one age bracket for a mass shooter is between the age of 25 and 34.
25 and 34.
25 and 34. But if you listen to politicians, what are they saying?
Well, yeah, they want to raise from 18 to 21 because that's
So
going
that
to
would-
stop so many.
That would make you believe that most mass shooters must be buying their guns at the age of 18 and committing this violent act, before they turn 21.
18 to 2021. Yeah, wow.
Now,
that would do. So that proposed law wouldn't do much.
Wouldn't do much. Now, the second bracket, the bracket between the ages of 19 and 24, 14 of the mass shootings occurred from there. So highest was 24 to 34, 25 to 34, and the second highest was 19 to 24. So I found that to be really interesting. But the best part of this entire research document, you guys ready? The best part.
Why didn't you give this to me earlier so I could have made some cool graphics for you to pop up?
I never thought about it. Never once did that pop up in my mind.
Just looking at your chicken scratch over there.
Yeah. So the best part of this research is what guns mass shooters are actually using.
Bolt action. No, just joking.
Put in the chat below. What weapons are most mass shooters using to commit an act of extreme violence, extreme murder? Are they using a rifle? Are they using a shotgun? Are they using a handgun?
I'm going to go with handguns.
You're going to use a handgun?
Yeah, I'm going to go with handgun. Because I feel like that's easier to conceal, like hide.
Okay, some people say pistols, lots of handguns, bow and arrow.
We got
Probably
Charles
not.
being super specific, 40 S&W.
Okay. Handgun, mix of handgun, slingshot. Probably not. Nice try, though, bud. All right, so out of 61 mass shootings, 5 of the mass shooters, we don't know what kind of weapon they use because the police suck at writing stuff down and they did not document it properly. So 5 of the mass shootings.
Joking?
No, I'm not joking.
Is that even possible?
We do not know.
Did they get away?
One of the mass shooters last year in 2021, they still have not caught, is what the FBI thing said. Still at large. Wow. Yeah. So 5 of them were unknown. We don't know what kind of gun they used. 2 of the mass shooters used a shotgun.
Okay.
5 of the mass shooters had a rifle and a handgun.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm assuming the rifle is like an AR.
Probably AK, Who knows? 6 of the 61 mass shooters had a rifle.
Wow.
6. And out of 61 mass shooters, 43 of them only had a handgun.
Wow.
Now think about that, right? Think about the lie that the media is telling. Mm-hmm. The lie is that if we get rid of AR-15s,
it's going to stop this.
America will be safe. Yeah. Violence will end. Mass shootings will be over.
There'll be no more school shootings.
But if you look at the data, bad guys aren't even using ARs to commit mass murder. Mm-hmm. They're using handguns. Mm-hmm. So
not ghost guns?
Ghost guns. You got to say it like that. Ghost gun. Yeah. So they're using handguns. Wow. Which goes to tell you, like, look at what's happening in Canada right now.
Which handguns you can't even buy till you're 21 already anyway, across the whole U.S.
I didn't even think about that part, but yeah.
Interesting.
So again, everything you're proposing is not logical. It has zero logical base. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but it's all based truly just on emotion and lies. It's a web of lies.
You are kind of preaching to the choir, but kind of not. Because I'm that person. I believe in, the Second Amendment, and I believe the right to bear arms. But I'm that person that, listen, I'm super empathetic. And when something, like what happened in Texas last week, when something like that happens, I want that to stop. You know what I mean? Like, I can be swayed if I am told this lie that I don't know is a lie. I could easily be swayed.
Sure.
The only reason why it doesn't sway me is because I know that it doesn't make sense because I listen to you, kind of. And I do my own, kind of research. But there's a lot of people, like my sister, she's the perfect example.
Yeah.
If you put her, in with some of the CNN, she'll come out, all kind of confused and be like, maybe I should give up my guns. You know what I mean? Like, because she's so empathetic and she thinks that it's going to help, and she'll kind of easily be kind of swayed that, hey, this is going to make a difference. And, all those people years ago in Austria, they were the same way. Like, they were convinced by the media, right, who was lying to them continually. It's almost like a brainwashing. And they just get you to start believing. You know what it is? It was the same with coronavirus. They get you to start believing that if you're a gun owner and you stand up and believe in your right to bear
That
arms,
you're a bad person.
that you are the problem. You are a terrorist. You are a bad guy. You have no heart. You have no empathy. You do not care for those kids. You do not care for those families. You don't want to do anything about it. You just want to have your guns and you don't care what anybody else says. That's what they make you feel like. Just like if you didn't want to get the vaccine, you were an evil person. You did not care about anybody. You had no heart and you were the problem. And that's what they're trying to do. It's this great divide, right? And they start making you feel almost guilty to be a gun owner.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do.
They make you feel guilty like the blood of those children is on your hands. That's what they make you feel like.
When in reality, sounds like the blood of those children should be on the hands of the cowardly police that were afraid to go into the building.
And let's put the blame where it belongs. On the kid who did it.
Yeah.
On mental illness, on the system that has failed, you know? Like, it's just nonsense.
Okay, so Scott says something that I've been saying for a long time. He says, so a question that I like to ask people is I say, do you feel like the Second Amendment is under attack? Mm-hmm. And I usually get a pretty, like, you know, everybody agrees Second Amendment is definitely under attack. And then I ask, do you feel like the government will ever win? Do you feel like they're ever going to be able to take guns away? And people are always like, no, it'll never happen. But the reality is it's happening. The reality is you're not going to get people like us, people that are on this channel, to just give over our guns because we're already set in our ways, right?
It's the people in the middle, though, that can
But it's the children.
Be swayed. Oh,
it's
the younger
the fact
generation.
that they're censoring us. Mm-hmm. They're blocking our message from being out there. They pull down my ads. They like take down my videos on the internet. Or they flag them and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you guys how many times we've been worried about having our YouTube channel deleted recently just because YouTube is flagging stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't even know if I want to post anything on here, which is why I'm not posting much, because you're just flagging everything. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm going to lose everything if I post anything, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing. They're manipulating the minds of our children.
Yeah, it won't be this generation. It'll be the next
couple.
That, guess what? They are going to be, they're not going to want to have anything to do with the Second Amendment because it's going to be like taboo. It's going to be made very, very just wrong. And if you are one of the ones that believe in it, you're going to be demonized. And that's just the way it is because they're doing a really, really good job at doing it. And that's why I encourage everybody to really talk to your kids about this. Talk to your grandkids about this. Let them know how important it is that we continue to fight for the Second Amendment and that we don't ever, stop fighting for it. Yeah. Because there will come a day when, it's going to get really, really close, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's scary. It's crazy. All right, let's look at another question here.
Got it.
So, question number 2, am I allowed to shoot someone who touches me?
Is that a real question?
It was actually bolder than this. So, as this guy in the class was sharing the story.
Is it like touching or is it like touching?
As I'm in the class and this guy is telling me my brother pulled out a gun just for a guy walking up to his window, I asked the group, is this legal to pull out a gun just because somebody walks up? And I said, what if the guy reaches in the car and grabs you? And then this guy, this big buff firefighter, he's like, if he touches me, I'm going to shoot him. And I was like, oh, okay. So I walked up to him and I was like, I slapped him in the shoulder. Oh. And I said,
a little sore there.
I said, so like that? So I just touch you and you think you can shoot me? And he's like, well, now that you put it like that, no. I was like, okay, then, what are you talking about?
Think before you speak.
Right. It's this mindset that people have that just because you have a gun and people were saying it, they're like, yeah, but I feel threatened. Nobody cares if you feel threatened. You have to actually be threatened.
Yeah, it's not based on feelings. Like if we all lived by the way we felt, I wouldn't get out of bed half days.
No.
No, well, I'd be like, I don't feel like working. I'm just going to, I wouldn't.
Well, true, yeah.
I don't feel like, a lot of times I don't feel like praying or I don't feel like doing things. I don't feel like eating healthy food and I just want to eat ice cream. But if we all lived on how we felt, it would be a pretty terrible thing. Right? You never listen to your feelings. I've already learned that.
Yeah, I agree.
Look at how many times we've hated each other.
Yeah.
You don't listen to your feelings. You make a decision and you don't listen to your feelings.
Yeah, and you just move forward.
Yeah. So, yeah, people have to realize that.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's look at some stuff in the chat. So some people are saying go on to Rumble. I went on Rumble. I don't really care.
Is it Rumble or is it Rumbly?
Rumbly, I don't know.
Say if it's Rumble, say 1. Comment 1. If it's Rumbly, comment 2 because people.
And if you don't know, don't comment.
And if you don't know, comment 3.
Okay, Mario says also click like. Yes, we appreciate that. Okay. If they attempt to reach into your car and pull you out of the car physically by your hair, then yes, I would definitely pull. Yeah, I mean, that could be argued that it's an attempted kidnapping, something like that. But, here's the point, because there's always, lots of gray area here. Using a gun is a really big deal, right? It has severe consequences, even if you're justified. And we got to make sure that you're actually really making a decision that you're willing to live with, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did they say? It's Rumble?
Rumble, I think that's what number 1 was, right?
Okay.
What I'm super surprised of, the way that this nation, the way that it's going, is the complete and utter, and I know I've said this, I probably sound like a parrot that keeps saying it, but the utter disregard for human life. Like someone touches me, I'm going to shoot him. Like you're willing to take a life because someone touched you. You're willing to take a life because someone, stole your shoes off the back patio. Like it just seems weird that it's getting worse and worse where people just have no regard for human life. They feel like it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. And whenever they feel like it, they should be able to just...
Because isn't that the culture of this generation? Is that my feelings matter, which let me give you guys all the heads up. Nobody cares about your feelings. How many times...
Do you say it to the kids?
Do I say it to the kids? The kids will say something like that. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Dad does not care.
Yeah.
Stop. And I specifically say to them, I will not talk to you if you're crying.
Yeah.
Go away. Come back to me when you are calm enough to not cry.
Yeah.
Then I'll speak to you.
Yeah.
But if you're going to cry, he did this to me. It's like, I don't care. Go away from me. Yeah. Might be bad parenting, but I don't know, man.
Because they come crying to us, a million times a day because they're all bickering and fighting each other.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm just saying, though, do you notice that, too, though? How people are so quick to just throw away a human life. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that, what is that? Is that
I think it's a combination of things. I think that many people have a really big false belief about what the Florida Stand Your Ground law means.
Dan, thank you for living by his feelings.
People truly believe that this Florida Stand Your Ground law means that if I am threatened, I'm allowed to shoot you. And the law, I'm going to go to the sheriff's department. They're going to give me a certificate that says stand your ground on it. And you're going to walk away.
I was threatened.
Yeah.
I felt threatened.
I stood my ground.
Because it's that word. I felt it's not legit.
So it's just a massive misunderstanding of what you're allowed to do. Pretty much my entire class, the entire concealed carry class, is me trying to explain to people what you think you're allowed to do is 100% wrong. That's the majority of it, right? So anyway, it's really fascinating.
Yeah. Are we going to do the live next week?
We are not. Why?
Well, I was going to ask. So we're going to Arizona, but I mean, I don't know.
Maybe we will.
Maybe you'll do it in the car. I don't know.
Sure, maybe.
Might do it while we're on the road trip. It'll be a short one, though. It won't be an hour.
Yeah.
But just heads up. Ryan will let you know probably by email or whatever.
Yeah.
But just heads up. We may
so we are going to Arizona next week. We're going to a really cool marketing conference for children, actually, which is super awesome. What?
I was going to say, somebody emailed me, hey, if you're going to Arizona, do this. If you're from there or if you've been there or anything like that, please let me know. So we're going to Phoenix, Arizona, and then we're going to the Grand Canyon. And that's all we have. But if there's something super cool
that we have to see.
That we have to see, or don't forget, we're driving. I know, craziness. So 33 hours or something like that. But if there's, the whole Mississippi. If
any of you have a camper that RV that I could borrow.
No, I don't want that. That'll be lots. But if there's anything kind of on the way that you know of, because we want to stop and kind of stop with the kids along the way, right? Because they can't just drive right through. So if there's anything super cool that you know of, let me know. Okay, just send us an email so that we can check it out. I'd really appreciate that because I have
somebody said, so I had a poll right at the very top here. It says, if you could only own one firearm, what would it be?
Oh.
Handgun, rifle, or shotgun. So we said, why did you put shotgun in there? Because it's a type of gun.
Well, and lots of people love
Yeah, I'm not a big shotgun person.
I'm not either.
If I can only have
because
2 guns
hurts.
ever, for whatever reason, if I can only have 2 guns,
Glock
what would
and
they
an
be?
AR-15.
A Glock 19
Glock
Gen
19
5,
and an AR-15.
an LWRC,
No, you already have that.
IC, individual carbine,
Perfect.
Epic.
So you already have both those firearms, so there's no need to ever buy a new firearm. You've already got everything.
You know,
on your
Lincoln
list.
at the gun store, he's like, Dad, we haven't bought a gun in a while. We should buy this rifle right here. And I was like, nah, bud.
So I haven't looked online. Has like AR-15 prices and stuff?
No, it's all
gone?
normal at the gun store that I've
Really?
seen. Maybe it's online, it's different, but I've noticed it all just the
I was
same.
gonna tell everybody that is doing the AR-15 secrets class that maybe they should pick up their lower.
Yeah, now is definitely the time. Like,
Yeah.
with all this gun control rhetoric, maybe if you guys can't afford to buy a full AR-15, at a bare minimum,
Yeah.
buy an AR-15 lower.
Yeah,
So
100,
that's
$120.
Yeah, that's the regulated part. You can even get them for $50 from
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anderson, and they're good quality. But buy those. Like, we had a friend when during the 2016 election,
How
he
many
was
did he get?
concerned.
40?
He bought 100.
Oh, 100.
He bought 100 AR lowers because he was planning to flip them. If Hillary got in office and they got banned or whatever, they would skyrocket in price.
But
and then he
hey,
would flip 'em.
those still, I mean, honestly, I don't think it's that bad of an investment because they were talking about, you know, when banning, they were talking about like the pre-ban thing, and
Yeah.
look what happened to the automatic.
94, yeah.
So in 94, when they banned, no, I'm talking about
Machine guns?
Machine guns.
Yep.
When did they ban machine guns?
86.
86. So basically, it was like, okay, whatever you had was grandfathered in. Anything after that was this, right? So if something like that happens, then what you have
Yeah, it could be worth a tremendous amount
in
of money.
15 to 20 years, like we're talking thousands of dollars, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never think that firearms are a bad investment. Every firearm that we've ever purchased, we've always been able to sell it for more than what we paid for it.
Do you want to know why? I am really good at buying guns
Well,
for super
yes,
cheap.
you are. Yes, I agree with that.
I'm
But
really good at it.
Also, but even you bought a couple guns though full price, and you were still able to sell it for.
I'm also really good at selling guns for a really high price.
I'm just saying though, they don't lose their value.
They do
right?
lose value.
As long as you get a good, whatever. Shut up. My gosh.
Yeah,
Ryan.
guns do lose value. They're definitely not like me, man. I'm just not. Yeah, I'm not going to buy your Glock 19 for $550.
Depends who you are. Okay, 80% lowers. No, just a regular lower because the
Yeah.
80%. They make it seem so easy.
It is hard,
It
dude.
is not easy unless you really are like a machinist or you have a CNC machine or something like
Well,
that.
not even a
'Cause
CNC
even
machine.
with
If you have a
drill press-
real solid drill press,
But
but
yeah.
if you have a Harbor Freight drill press, man, it's not going to go
you
well.
still have to have some skill with the drill.
A lot of skill, yeah.
So what I'm saying is, it's just get the lower, right? Because same price. Just get a full lower.
Okay, so Canic Bill says, did you hear about the shooting of airsoft at folks in Mount Dora? If they pull up, could you use deadly force? I've talked about this lots, Canic Bill. So if you believe a person has a gun, and then do you have a reasonable belief of imminent death? Yes, because you believe the person has a gun. Is the use of deadly force immediately necessary? Are you in a place you have a right to be? Are you committing a crime? If the answer to those first 3 questions is yes, and the last question is no, then you have a right to use a gun.
Put up the book link. No, you do not. No, the link. You do not need to sign up for the class, Carlos. You can just go ahead to that FloridaConcealedCarryLaw.com, and you can just purchase the book right from there. So this is...
Is he talking about this book, or is he talking about the AR course? That's what he said.
Oh.
Or the AR course, or can I just buy the book? Yeah, we don't sell the book separately.
Oh, I see.
The book is an amazing value. The book, actually, yes, I will sell you the book by itself for $100, and then I'm going to give you the course. Okay, Carlos, the course is my gift to you.
Stop it.
I'm not joking. If you buy the book for $100,
Yeah,
it's yours
no.
for free.
So, yeah, we just sell the book and the course together, and you kind of need the both. Like, it's really, really helpful to have the both anyway. So, but yeah, we just have it. Do you have the link for that, for the AR-15secrets.com?
You never made me one. Nope.
Okay.
AR-15secrets.com, pretty easy.
Yeah. Sorry, Carlos. I was confused. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Joe. We appreciate it.
Okay, we talked about that. Let's talk about, I guess we kind of already alluded to this 1,000%
Yeah.
tax on AR-15s, which would make a $1,000 AR-15, basically 20 grand or 10 grand.
No, 1,000%, not times 1,000. You always
So
get confused.
$1,000
times 1,000%.
$1,000 times
1,000.
1,000%. So that's $10,000. That makes sense.
Really, it would make an AR-15 $10,000?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pick up a lower.
Maybe get a dozen lowers. But that would be a tax. So if they did something like that, I haven't read their language or whatever, it would probably apply to even if you did a private sale after that. So now you do a private sale, you sell it for $1,000, you got to pay the government a $10,000 tax.
And what are they going to do with this money?
They're going to give it to freaking Pakistan for gender studies. Because we all know how important that is.
I'm so disappointed.
But isn't it funny how they think that doing that is going to stop a criminal? What I was really hoping to get from this big FBI research thing was how criminals are acquiring, how bad people are acquiring the guns they're using to commit mass murder. When I did this a couple years ago, the statistics showed that most active shooters purchase a firearm legally through a gun store, okay? Most active shooters owned the firearm they used in the shooting for 6 months or more before the shooting.
Okay.
Which again, when I read that 2 years ago, I thought, well, that's silly. So then it doesn't matter if you have a 5 day waiting period, a 10-day,
Right.
a 1 year waiting period, or a month waiting period. On average, they owned the gun for 6 months before they committed the act of extreme violence. So again, you're pissing in the wind and you're confused at why you're all wet. Good analogy, right?
Yeah. So somebody said, I don't know who it was. Oh, Canic Bill, it'll never pass. Michelle says it'll never pass. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't want to bury our heads in the sand and pretend something's never going to happen because there's been a lot of things that have passed that we just never thought were really going to happen. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of
We got to be careful. All right, so last question, I think, or second to last question. Let's see. If I see different types of material being used for ammunition, brass, copper, steel, is there a problem running steel case, or does it depend on the firearm that the ammunition is used in?
Ooh, good question.
Go ahead and answer it.
So, yes, it does matter. So, steel expands differently, right, than brass. Brass is a softer and it expands differently. So, what it does is it affects your ejector. Some firearms, like the Russian AK-47s and stuff like that, are meant to be fed the steel ammo, and those gobble that crap up. It's not going to hurt the gun. But these modern firearms that we use, these finicky, Glocks and stuff like that, they do not like it. So, what happens is when you shoot the round, it expands quicker, right?
It expands, but it stays expanded. It doesn't contract fast enough.
It doesn't contract fast enough like the brass casing does, and then it is very hard, very, very tough on your extractor. So you're going to have your
problems.
Yeah, your extractor break and stuff like that. Plus, I think you have more malfunctions with it, right?
Tons, dude. Yeah, I got this question at the range today during a beginner's guide course. So the guy saw a bunch of aluminum casings laying around, and he asked me what I thought. And,
it's cheaper, right?
It is cheaper. Sometimes aluminum casings work great in some guns. But frankly, every time I bought it, as I'm shooting, I'm always like, man, this is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like, I can shoot 1,000 rounds of brass ammo and never have one problem. All of a sudden, I'm shooting aluminum, and it's like, I got this issue. And it's like, what? Am I really saving? Yeah. Maybe financially I'm saving a little bit, but now I'm frustrated. And is that really what I want?
What scares me is you don't even know that you're damaging your firearm, right? It may seem fine and it may feed fine, but it may be weakening your extractor, and then God forbid.
That's with steel. Steel ammo, yeah.
I was going to say, God forbid, then you have to actually, use your gun and something happens, because now it's... So we definitely, we only stick with brass, right?
Yeah.
I think on all your ammo cans.
Yeah.
So I say stick with brass, really, unless you're shooting an AK-47.
Yeah. AKs, I have a ton of steel 7.62 ammo because it's cheap. And AKs love steel case ammo.
AR-15s do not.
Yeah, they don't typically like it. Yeah. All right, last question here says... How do you feel about modifying the ATF Form 4473, which is the document you fill out when you're buying a gun, to include that purchasers between the age of 18 and 21 need to have 2 family members / associates, someone who has known them for 2 years or more, to sign an affidavit stating their opinion is the purchaser is of sound mind, This may impair those who are not mature enough to purchase. Just asking. You know, really fascinating story. I was at Bunker Depot in Seffner earlier this year, and we were just kind of talking. And they said that two men came in, and one of them was looking at buying a gun. And they were both brothers. Mm-hmm. And one of the guys, like, pulled somebody in the back, Jason or Kyle, and they were like, hey, listen, my brother is talking about buying a gun, but he is not mentally fit to own a gun. He is not ready for this. You guys should not sell him a gun. Mm-hmm. Now, you know, I forget who it was, Kyle or Jason. They kind of felt that this was a little strange. Mm-hmm. So they kind of started talking to the guy, some more like pointed questions about who he was, what he believes. Turns out the brother who was looking to buy the gun was a hardcore conservative. And the other guy was his super liberal brother who believes that because you think you need a gun, you're not mentally fit.
Wow.
And they ended up, met another friend of his, and like it was all fine. They ended up selling him guns, and he's been a great customer. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I just thought...
You have to be so careful with that type of thing because isn't that what they do in New York?
You got to have a bunch of references.
Yeah, like you got to get a bunch of references. They talk to your neighbor. They talk to... And
it's not about protecting you. Mm-hmm. It's about making the process more difficult.
And then it becomes about what the people kind of around you believe too, right? Because if they believe in owning guns and they believe that that's a, you know, an okay thing, then they're going to say yes. But if they believe that no, you know, they're in the middle or they're the other way, they don't think that people should own guns, they're going to say no, I don't think so. And then it's like you're leaving it in the hands of somebody else instead of, you know, a God-given right. Now, I do applaud your thought of, you know, throwing it out there because I think that that's what we need to do. We need to bring up these things. These are all... you know, we're trying to find answers. We're all trying to find answers to stop this.
The answer is find out what the real problem is, solve the real problem. Yeah. Okay? But we identified through the research I shared with you that's freely available to the public on the FBI's website that the solution they're providing doesn't actually solve a problem. And actually it does solve a problem, which is an armed society cannot be overrun by the government. Yeah. And that's what they hate. They hate the fact that we have the ability to defend ourselves. As much as sleepy, creepy Joe Biden says we need an F-16, bro, some of us know how to fly F-16s. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason that military veterans are on these lists that you're watching because we know how to work all your shit.
Yeah.
Okay? So anyway.
Yeah. No, so I had something so great, and then I just got to wait till you're done over with your rant. So I forgot.
Okay. All right. So where did the shooter in the Texas school shooting get the $4,000 to purchase 2 AR-15s?
Yeah, because he
probably went to Amscot.
Very expensive ones, right? Like not just didn't he have like a...
He had Daniel Defense DDM-7, which is a nice rifle, but it's only, you know, $2,000, probably $1,900.
Yeah. So, again... I think I'm super tired.
But, you know, a guy came into Universal Jewelry Pawn and said that he wanted to buy a gun, but he didn't have any money. And he said, I want to trade my truck. So the owner, Wilfredo, was like, well, show me your truck, right? And it was like this nice truck, you know, it's worth $10,000 or whatever. Okay. And Wilfredo's like, you want a Glock 19? And you're going to sign the title of your truck over to me? The guy's like, yeah, definitely. And Wilfredo's like, yeah, I'll do that deal. Like, that's a great deal. I would do that deal. And then the guy was like, okay, I got to take the gun home first, and then you can have my truck. And Wilfredo's like, no. So I'll give you the gun. You do the background check. You take a freaking Uber home, okay? So Wilfredo refused to sell him the gun because he kind of felt as he was talking to him that this guy was talking about he just needed the gun to commit suicide. Because the guy said...
Didn't he say he only needed one?
He said, I won't need the truck once I get the gun. Which is like, okay, well, that's strange. So they didn't sell him a gun, and the guy left. Bad guys that want to do... Like, here's what's interesting. Have you ever really, like, you didn't have any money, you're broke, but you all of a sudden really needed something? Like, you really needed it. Were you able to find the money to get that thing?
Yeah, or find the resources.
Yeah, you sell something, you do something, whatever. People that really want something are going to find it.
I mean, so sad as this is, because it's a a mental health thing, but people that want to commit suicide, if they really truly want to, they're gonna do it. You cannot stop them. You can, outside of getting them help and stuff like that, you can hide all the knives in the house, you can hide all the extension cords, you can hide all the shoelaces, you can hide everything, but they will find a way. They will find a way. And it's the same thing with these people with mental illnesses, right?
Yeah.
That want to do harm. So before we end the show tonight, I want to encourage everybody once again, after we get off the live, just go on Google or DuckDuckGo or whatever and punch in how many mass murders across the world are committed with a firearm. Or something.
Without a gun.
Sorry, without a gun. Without
Yeah.
a gun. And you will see a massive list of all kinds of mass, murders that have happened in like a multitude of different ways. And that is because people are resourceful. And if you are bound and determined to hurt a lot of people, you will find a way. And there is no way to stop everybody.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There is just no way to stop everybody.
Yep.
So,
All right, guys, we appreciate you. If you have not claimed your copy of my new book, AR15secrets.com, link is inside the description. Go pick it up. It is super dope. Now is the time.
Yes.
Because there will come a day, potentially, where it's going to be very difficult to own these types of items.
and we're not going to, and the price for printing these things have just gone up. Everything, right,
Yeah.
has gone up. So get your copy now. We're offering free shipping. You just have to pay for the book is free. Just pay a little price for shipping and handling.
We're talking about the AR-15
Oh.
Secrets book. Pay attention to what we're talking about. You remember?
No, I didn't
Yeah.
know.
AR15secrets.com. Go
Yes.
get it. Super awesome. You guys will love it.
You definitely do need that. You don't have it?
It's over there somewhere on my desk. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, be safe.
We'll see you next Monday, maybe.